Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Equality Officer, Salesforce, Tony Proffitt.
All right. Hey, good morning. Good morning, and welcome everyone to the World Tour. Thank you for that warm welcome. This is an incredible time to be here in our nation's capital. We are honored and thrilled, really just delighted to host you. My flight out this week was filled with young people, filled with students that are making that, I guess it's a high school senior rite of passage, that journey to our nation's capital. And the cherry blossoms are in bloom, and the city is bustling. And so this is a perfect time, a magical time to be here in our nation's capital. And we have an action-packed day lined up for you, a day full of learning and empowerment and fun. So this is going to be great. So get ready. We're going to have a fantastic day together. But before we get started, I'm compelled to share with you everybody's favorite slide about forward-looking statements. Okay? I know you love this slide, right? I love this slide. You love this slide. But hey, you're going to see and hear a lot of fun and exciting, amazing things today and throughout the day. But always remember to make your purchasing and your investment decisions off of currently available products. So let's get started. And we are here to motivate you, and we are here to inspire you. We're here to inform you. We're here to listen to you and to learn from you. But most of all, we're here to thank you. We just can't thank you enough for everything that you do. So thank you to our customers. Thank you to our partners. Thank you to our employees. Thank you to our MVPs. Where are the MVPs? Yes. Give it up. Give it up for the MVPs. I see Revi over there. Toya, are you there? Justin? Okay, all right. So you're going to hear that the notion of the MVP a lot more during this keynote, and that's the heartbeat. That's the lifeblood of this amazing community. So, thank you. Thank you to our incredible MVPs. And together, we have created something truly, truly remarkable and special. And, we've been able to do that because we're all trailblazers, united by a passion for customer success and blazing a path into that fourth industrial revolution for others to follow and making sure that nobody is left behind. And you think about these generations, these four industrial revolutions, you think back to that first industrial revolution. And before that first industrial revolution, literally everything that happened in civilization happened through the power of our muscles, or the power of domesticated animals, or if you're fortunate enough to live next to moving water, through the power of a river, right? And then humankind unleashed the true power of fire through the steam engine, and later the internal combustion engine. And that began to free our bodies. And then humankind discovered that the invisible powers of electricity and magnetism, and that actually made urban civilization possible through fluorescent lighting and elevators and escalators and air conditioning. And then that third revolution, the magic of the transistor, which was miniaturized and amplified by Moore's Law, and then empowered by software, and that began to free our minds. But buckle up, because this next industrial revolution is going to make all the former ones, pale in comparison. And this fourth industrial revolution, in my view, it really has the potential for humankind to now begin to fully realize our potential. And it's not just about the mobile and social and cloud waves of technology that are inundating us. It's about all of these technologies that are everywhere, becoming ambient around us: artificial intelligence and robotics and autonomous vehicles, and these amazing, amazing technologies that are literally going to change everything. I have a 7-year-old, and I can almost guarantee you that when my 7-year-old moves into the workforce, the career that he takes on is a career that probably doesn't even exist today. That's how much change we're going to see. And what truly inspires us, though, is the ways that you all are using these amazing technologies to create incredible connected experiences for all of your customers. For example, Kone, this amazing leader in elevator and escalator technology, that they serve up about 1 billion rides a day. And they're using these fourth industrial generation technologies to put their customer at the center, connecting real time with both their elevators and their service technicians so they know the skills of that technician, what his or her skills are, and the location so that they can make sure that every ride is safe and predictable and comfortable. And Ducati with the connected motorcycle. And just this week, I had an amazing Fourth Industrial Revolution experience, and it was at the Marriott Marquis. So I think we have some folks here from Marriott. Where are you all? All right, up in the balcony. And I've been a loyal Marriott customer for 3 decades as a business traveler, and on pleasure. But this week at the Marriott Marquis, I had an incredible next generation experience. And it started before I even arrived at the hotel. And I was able, through the app, to check into the hotel before I arrived and turn my smartphone into my room key through Bluetooth Low Energy, one of these Fourth Industrial Revolution technologies. And throughout that experience, I was able to set my preferences for the pillows and the blankets and the number of towels and the amenity kits. And in the midst of the experience, I needed more coffee, because who doesn't need more coffee? And I was able, through the chat app, just to chat, not pick up the phone and just say, hey, I need more decaf coffee for the coffee machine in the room. And amazing concierge-like experience. Boom, there it was, right there at my door. And so that's the promise, these amazing connected, transformative experiences, the ways that Marriott is transforming hospitality, that folks in this room and around the world are going to be transforming all different kinds of industries through the power of this Fourth Industrial Revolution, putting the customer at the center. However, not every company has these capabilities. In fact, about 60% of companies, they believe, their self-assessment is that they don't think they have the capabilities to put the customer at the center and to build these connected experiences that are going to be core to being successful in the Fourth Industrial Revolution. But we can help. We can solve that. And when I say we, I don't mean Salesforce. I mean we, collectively, all of us here in this room, that we can help solve this. All of the nearly 4,500 people registered for this event, all of the folks watching in the overflow rooms as well as the amphitheater, all the thousands of people that are a part of this experience with us, watching the live stream around the world. We can help because we are all trailblazers, united by that passion about transforming customer experiences and customer success. We are the customer innovators. You are the customer innovators. Reinventing and transforming workflows and business processes. You are the technology disruptors, reinventing your business models. But most importantly, you are the global shapers, investing your time and your energy and your passion to make the world a better place for this generation and for the next generation. And that's what Salesforce has been about, right from the founding 19 years ago, about democratizing technology. And as we've pursued that journey, we've done it by working to stay true to these 4 core values. And the first of them is trust. Nothing is more important to us in our relationship than the trust that we have with you. And that trust, it can be manifest in the privacy and security of your data, or in the performance of the infrastructure or the platform, or customer success. Your success is our lifeblood. We do not succeed, we cannot succeed unless you're successful, unless you're enabling your customers to be successful. In innovation, and we've delivered on that commitment by having 3 waves of innovation every year delivered in the cloud as a service so that nobody's left behind. And then finally, equality. And today's a special day, a solemn day in the realm of equality. 50 years ago today, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. So let's just take a brief moment of silence to acknowledge his contribution in his life and his work and the work that continues. So thank you for that. Equality. Because every life in this amphitheater has equal value. Every life on this planet has equal value. And none of us can be equal until all of us are equal. And we have been putting these values into action from the beginning through our 1-1-1 model. 1-1-1. Super simple, super memorable. 1% of our employees' time. So every Salesforce employee gets 56 hours paid every year to invest back in the community in the cause of their choice. And cumulatively, that's garnered more than 2.6 million volunteer hours invested back in making the world a better place. 1% of the equity of the company at the founding, which wasn't worth much then, but now is the seed capital for our foundation. And that's fostered over $200 million in grants and 1% of our product. And that's enabled more than 34,000 NGOs and nonprofits to work on the platform. So if you're from a nonprofit, if you're from an NGO, if you're an educator, please stand up. If you're able, stand up if you are able. Or if you're not able to stand, acknowledge it in some other way. Thank you. Thank you. You know, we salute you, we applaud you, we congratulate you for the things that you're doing every day, and we stand beside you as partners, you know, that you're doing every day on our behalf and on behalf of society to make the world a better place. And it's not just about narrowly what this community can do. We want to be part of a movement. And that movement is this 1% pledge. And now we have over 4,000 companies that have taken that pledge. You know, familiar names like DocuSign and Yelp, and amazing companies right here in this area like Under Armour and Zephyr and Opturo and Fianta. So, you know, congratulations to each of these companies that have taken this pledge. If your organization has not taken the pledge, we encourage you to study it, understand it, and to consider it. And this is a great example of how business can be an agent for change in society. And we have a core belief that business is a powerful, powerful platform for change in this drive to an age of equality. And in our view, in our worldview, that drive has 5 lanes in it. The first drive is about public education, because education is that one thing that levels the playing field, that flattens the globe, that opens the doors of opportunity into the 4th Industrial Revolution. Literally everyone in this room, to a person, is sitting here because you had access to a great education. And so that's at the center of our commitment. We founded a program in the Bay Area called Circle the Schools, and it's super simple. It's just go to the local school nearest you, talk to the principal, ask him or her how you can help. And so personally for me, that's Roosevelt Middle School, and it's not as daunting as it sounds. You know, they're not going to ask you to tutor someone in calculus, organic chemistry, or recite Shakespeare from memory. You know, very simple things, just to be a mentor, to show someone a new career and what that looks like, for someone just simply to see somebody that looks like them who's successful in the business world. I mean, those simple examples are far more powerful than you could ever imagine. And so, very, very simple. We encourage everyone to consider this journey, this commitment to K-12 public education, great education for every student, because every student deserves a great education. And equal pay. And equal pay is one of the defining stories of Salesforce. And, you know, like all great stories, it has amazing heroes. But the heroes are not who you think they'd be. It's not Mark Benioff, our CEO and chairman. It's certainly not me, because this story predates me. I wasn't with the company. The heroes of the story are Cindy Robbins. She leads employee success for Salesforce, and Layla Seika, a technology executive who leads our App Exchange business. And these courageous leaders had the integrity to come to Mark in 2015 and say, you know, Mark, we don't think that women are paid the same as men in this company. And Mark was skeptical but concerned and empowered them to go get the answers. And they did an exhaustive survey of every employee on the planet looking for parity and equity based on gender, and found there was in fact a gap. And over the succeeding 2 years, we've invested $6 million adjusting salaries. None were adjusted down, they're all adjusted up, to make sure that we could plant a flag stating there's parity and equity, equal pay for equal work. Thank you, thank you. Thank you on behalf of Salesforce. Thank you on behalf of those courageous leaders that have the integrity to stand up. Thank you on behalf of all the other organizations that are doing the same work. We're not alone. We're not alone in this work. And equal rights. Everyone deserves the same chance in life. Everyone deserves a life free from bias and discrimination, regardless of your sexual orientation, regardless of your gender identity, regardless of your race, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of your religion, regardless of your nationality, or any difference in ability, visible or invisible. And one of the iconic stands of the company was a stand that the company took in Indiana, standing for the rights of our LGBTQ employees and their families and our partners and customers. Again, I didn't work for the company at the time, but it was one of those things that magnetically drew me to the company. As I saw the company standing for the rights of LGBTQ people in Indiana, and I'm sitting there thinking, my son is LGBTQ. And those doors that Salesforce is opening, they're opening the doors for my son, for my family. And I'm thinking to myself, boy, wouldn't it be great to work for a company like that, right? And by fate or luck or divine providence or whatever, here I am, and I'm thrilled now to be part of Salesforce. I've been with the company about 18 months. And equal opportunity. Again, everyone deserves an equal chance. And we want to make sure simply that our workforce and the industry looks like society at large, from the boardroom to the executives to the front line, and that we're building a culture where everyone can feel seen, everyone feels valued, everyone feels heard, no one feels like they have to check some fraction of their identity at the door. And finally, increasingly, the environment is about equality. And we see whenever there's an environmental crisis or natural disaster, think about the hurricanes in Puerto Rico or in Houston, the people who are most affected, the people who are least able to flee, the people who are least able to rebuild their lives or to relocate are the people with the fewest resources that have economic inequality. And that's why we're committed to putting people and the planet first and delivering to you a net zero carbon cloud. And so we consider all of this part of doing good and doing well. But the frame for all of this is when we talk about any acknowledgement of this or any good that's done, the we is all of us collectively. It's this whole community, not just Salesforce, per se. And the other frame for it is, the sobriety to know that we're part of this tech industry, and the tech industry still has a lot of work to do. You just have to pick up the papers and read the headlines, week in and week out or month in and month out. The industry has work to do. We're part of that industry, and we acknowledge that there's work to do. But we're centered on continuing to drive for equality for all. And those efforts, our efforts collectively, have been acknowledged for Salesforce. For example, being named by Fortune the world's #1 best place to work in the world, right? As one small example. And so that's the doing good part. And we think that makes the company magnetic, and it allows us to bring in the best talent into the company and allow those people to do the best work of their lives. And the results, as you can see on the chart, those results speak for themselves. And we are #1 now in CRM, #1 in sales, #1 in customer service, and #1 in marketing. So what does that scale look like? Let's take a look into kind of a day in the life of Salesforce. And you all know we were born as a B2B company. If you look at the right-hand side of this chart, you can see the embodiment of that scale in a single day, 44 million reports and dashboards, 3 million opportunities created, 8 million cases logged. But with the evolution and the focus on the Service Cloud and the Commerce Cloud and the Marketing Cloud, we've also evolved into a leading B2C company. And what does that look like? 1.5 billion emails sent, 1 billion Einstein predictions, and 888 million commerce page views. But that scale extends beyond even these orders of magnitude to what IDC has termed the Salesforce economy. And think about that as the collective efforts of all of the folks in this room related to Salesforce and the Salesforce platform, and all the rooms like this around the world where we build communities like this, and we're empowering amazing trailblazers like you all to make a difference. And IDC predicts that by 2022, 3.3 million jobs created. By 2022, nearly $860 billion of GDP impact. And today, Indeed says that 2 of the top 10 jobs are Salesforce-specific jobs, Salesforce developer and Salesforce admin, and then collectively generating today about $1 billion in social impact. And all of that happening and enabled through the customer success platform. That's really helping you guide customers on a journey from discovery of those customers to marketing to those customers, all the way through the apps, all the way through service and support of those customers, and enabled by these incredible platform services. From Trailhead, the incredible Trailhead that allows you to do enablement and learning at scale for hundreds of thousands and millions of trailblazers around the world, and the thousands and tens of thousands in your organization, to Einstein to make your apps smarter, to Lightning to make your apps faster. Now, about 2 weeks ago, we announced a new capability, the Integration Cloud. And we announced the intent to acquire MuleSoft, which we have a vision that could also create some capabilities, enhance the capabilities of this Integration Cloud. And our vision there is pretty simple: to enable connected experiences, regardless of what device, to connect customers regardless of device or system or location, regardless of where the data comes from. So those are some of the elements of this amazing customer success platform, but the core of it, the secret of it, isn't some piece of silicon or not some bit of code. It's actually you. It's the amazing trailblazers. And the epitome of these trailblazers, and really by proxy representing all of you, one of them is Stephanie Herrera, right? Who here knows Stephanie Herrera, right? A few? She's amazing. I'm a huge fan, and I'd like you to hear a bit about Stephanie's story.
As a kid, I loved school. School was my safe place. I was a straight A student, National Honor Society. But I was dealt a hand that wasn't traditional, and that kind of turned my life upside down. So I did not get to go to college. After high school, my first job was working in the cotton fields with my grandfather. Seeing that was his only way to take care of his family, I felt a responsibility to do better. My husband got a job at Dell. He's like, just go interview. And I was like, I don't know computers. I don't have that experience. Somehow, I got the job, had great managers. I learned so much there. Once I got into the Salesforce platform, it changed everything. I've had so many people help me along the way. My manager at the time, he really believed in me. He's like, yeah, I was looking for someone to own the Salesforce instance, and I found you. He really gave me the confidence to fly. Starting out in the cotton fields of West Texas, now I'm working as a director of technology on the Salesforce platform. That's the direct result of others helping me. So if I can do that for somebody else, I'm going to help them.
Stephanie is the heart and soul of the Austin community.
I started Salesforce Saturday to help others be successful.
A trailblazer to me is someone who leads the way for the next generation.
It's a whole new world. It's evolving and growing. People think they can't keep up with technology, but they can't. We show them how to start using Trailhead, and they're off to the races. We are encouraging each other, motivating each other, building each other up to be stronger through knowledge.
It's a story of support. It's a story of mentoring. A bunch of great, sweet friends.
There's just this energy.
They give me this power, like,
oh, you can do it too. I was like, oh my God, this is it. I can do it.
When you find something you really love, the first instinct is to share it. Now, this is all happening on different sides of the world. Everybody can come together, learn new skills, earn badges, and connect with the community. You really can change the world one person at a time. You help that one person and they help somebody else. It does keep going on and on. And for me, that's been the most satisfying thing.
Wow. So if you wonder what a trailblazer looks like, there you have it. But we've got another great example right here with us, right here in the auditorium, who by coincidence also happens to be from Austin, Texas, and that's Hector Perez, Jr.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
Hector, welcome to the World Tour. Hector, you're here. You're joined by your wife, Kate. Kate, stand up. Be acknowledged. First thing about you, Hector, is you're a veteran, and I just want to start by acknowledging your service and thanking you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your trailblazer journey, your personal journey.
Sure. So first of all, Tony, thank you for having me here in Salesforce, and I'm so honored to be here at the DC World Tour. My personal journey starts in San Antonio. So I'm from San Antonio, Texas, born and raised. From a military family, so my dad served in the Army, and I did come from a rough neighborhood, and the reason why that's important is somewhere along the way in high school I joined ROTC, and I started to see discipline, leadership, and structure, which I really didn't have, and at that point in my life, I was like, I really want to serve my country too. So 2 days after high school graduation, I joined the Air Force to travel the world, and got stationed in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
So it didn't go too far. However, I served as a combat medic and a nurse at Wilford Hall Medical Center, Lackland Air Force Base, and I did get that, Tony. I got leadership principles, structure, discipline that has carried with me even beyond, my service to the country. So I left the Air Force after my first tour, took advantage of the GI Bill, went to the University of Texas, and then switched into the IT world. And that's kind of where my Salesforce world comes into play. I was at Dell as well, much like Stephanie, where Salesforce was being rolled out. That was in 2007, and that's when I really started to get connected to the Salesforce community. And when I was there for another 5 or 6 years, and then actually ended up working at Salesforce. And currently I'm VP of Technology at Fidelity Investments, but my passion and where I really find the juices to get me going is volunteering and working at the nonprofit Merivis Foundation. So back in 2014 when I was at Salesforce, I volunteered because there was this point where I was getting so much back from Salesforce and from my professional life that I had gotten from the military. I had to give back to the military community. So I volunteered with VetForce, which is Salesforce's program to get military veterans and spouses trained into the ecosystem. And what I found in Texas, Tony, was VetForce does a great job of partnering with nonprofits. But there were no nonprofits in Texas that were partnering with VetForce. So I said, we need to start one, and we need to do this. And I looked at my wife, Kate, and with Kate, myself, and a gentleman named Joe Castro. He's a certified technical architect at Aperio. We started it 3 years ago. And it's been a labor of love. It is a volunteer 501c3 nonprofit that helps military veterans transition from the battlefield to a lucrative Salesforce career in the job economy that you just mentioned. So
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
We are.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank Kate. Thank your other co-founders for us on our behalf. And we're just super grateful and super honored by your commitment. Now, I think we've chatted a little bit, and I think you know my history. So this is a question, I'm asking this for someone else, right?
Okay.
Because you don't have to convince me because, I think I've told you my story, that I grew up as an Army brat, and my father served 20 years from booked in by Korea and Vietnam. But for those in the audience that might not have appreciation, why hire a vet? What are some of the unique competencies? What's the business case and the societal case for hiring veterans?
Yeah, so if I take it from my experience in the technology world and working at different companies as a hiring manager, we look for people that are team-oriented, people that have critical thinking skills, can deal with the ambiguity, and most importantly, can execute and get stuff done. And all of these, in my years of experience in working with veterans through VetForce and Maribus, these guys check that box. But more importantly, they are team-oriented and they get their job done. And it's one of those things where when you put it together, it certainly does make sense.
That's awesome. Now we have a little surprise for you, and I hope it's a surprise, right? And that is this.
I got the hoodie.
Yes.
The golden hoodie.
The golden hoodie. You do the honors. So hopefully those who know in the community, this is our highest honor that we can bestow on someone.
This
and
makes
it just
my whole
really
day.
acknowledges well, if
I don't
you're
care
going to do
about
it,
this jacket.
if you're going to do the hoodie, you got to have the hood hanging just exactly right in the back here. You look fabulous.
Thank
and
you.
This is all about acknowledging and honoring those that are.
I just did a different stand.
Yeah. Well, you got to get your golden hoodie pose on, right?
Thank you.
So, but you look amazing, and congratulations. And this is an acknowledgement of the impact that you have had, that Kate has had, that others have had in making a difference in this community. So thank you, Hector. Congratulations, and we look forward to the amazing things that you're going to do in the years and decades ahead.
Thank you very much, Tony. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So incredible, and Stephanie, and Hector, Kate, incredible trailblazer stories.